Okay, on the Rancher, it's a 2013 420 Rancher. I'm still waiting on some parts, so what I'm going to do today is just drain the water, drain the oil. Well, there's 5 screws on this water pump inlet, I guess, and the very bottom one, when you loosen it, phone ringing. When you loosen it, you start getting antifreeze. Okay, let me stop it. Phone ringing. Okay, looks like I'm getting the last of the radiator water drained out of it. Can't even find it here in the viewfinder. There it is. Too close, but. And they say there's 5 screws on there. This one on the very bottom, and it does have a copper washer on it. Looks like that's about it. Okay. So then I'm taking that fluid and putting it right in there. Trying to save what I can. It's good looking radiator water. Okay. And that's about it, I think. All right. Now I'll do the regular old drain the oil. Okay, now do a little oil change, or drain the oil. Hadn't been in there but 20 hours, but there you go. Okay, pretty clean looking oil, which it rightly should be. Okay, now I've moved the 420 inside. I got it here on my hoist. I jacked it up, took the front wheels and tires off, and now I'm going to stand it up all the way, and I guess I'll lift it, stand it up all the way, and it should stand on the back tires and the rack, and I'll have that cable on there for safety purposes, in case there's anybody watching who's about to have a cow from something they see going on here. Don't worry, if you watch it, you won't get hurt watching it. Be patient. Look at there. It's standing on the back rack. That's what I needed. Now I can access that skid plate and get that out of the way. So let me get started on that. Okay. Got the skid plate off of it. Seemed like a video I watched about this. They said there were 3 bolts, but there's this one is a bolt and a nut. That's the upper one. It's got to come completely out. And the bottom one on the other side goes through right there. And that is a capture nut. So I take that bolt all the way out. And this one up above. Here, that's a bolt and a nut. Take all the way out. I'm going to have to check and see if I have to remove the hub, just so I'll have some slack to move this thing forward, the differential forward about 1/2 inch, enough to clear so I can get the that drive shaft right here out from right in here. May have to go check on that, but I'll get the 2 big bolts out and see how that goes. Okay, I got it standing up, and I counted roughly about 6 10mm. Let's see, is that a 10mm? Yes, it is. Kind of break it loose. Okay, loose. Break it loose. There's a socket head in that one. Let's see about this one right here. Will it come loose? Yep. Okay. Anyway, I believe there's about 12 of those. So I'm going to take all them loose and get the skid plate off. These two bolts are the same length. They both went in from the passenger side. This is the lower one. The lower one, I guess, was a capture nut, and this one up here had a hex nut on it and a washer that I've got to find. But that's how those two came out of the front differential mount. Well, when I pry it forward, trying to get this off of the splines, it looks like the shoulder right in here is hitting on this tie rod. So I'm going to take the tie rod loose and see if that gives me enough. I mean, it feels like a 1/16 of an inch and I could get it off. So let me do that. Take the cotter pin out here on the bottom side. And that nut, knock that tie rod in loose and see if that'll give me enough room. Okay, got that front output shaft out of the way. Cleaned up all around there where the seal goes. Got a new seal. In fact, a pair of new seals coming. It looks like now I'll turn the fuel off if I haven't already done so, and get this fuel pump and filter assembly out of there. Into a wire. See, that's the suction. And I think that's the discharge, and the big rubber one in the back of the vent. And then that'll be everything loose to start taking. I think the guy, one of them said there's about 15 of those bolts that hold that case on there. I might pull the case off and just stop there until the parts get here. We'll see how it goes. Well, you might see something here. It's probably not the way a pro would do it. I couldn't get that darn high pressure fitting. The little green interconnector broke. I have not been able to find one anyway. I've got it rigged on there with a clip from an automotive air conditioning. It holds, it does not leak. However, I can't get it off right today. So I just wired it out of the way. That's going to give me plenty of access, I think. This hole was all bended up out of the way. This one is loose. I'll pull that over out of the way. I'll start taking these. I believe a guy said there was like 15 of them. Breaking those loose. See what kind of luck I have separating that case. So, here we go. Let me get my little right angle 3/8 drive and knock them all loose. And then I'll be back. Okay, there were 15 for sure. I took them all loose. Let's see which side. Looks like it's going to go out over here on what's called the passenger side. And I do see some slack. If you set this down, I do think there's, let me get the camera. I wish I had an expert here. I paused it and I moved over here to this side. I think that's considered too much slack, and this cam follower is out. I don't really know what I was expecting. I was expecting this to be pretty tight. So whether I have found the problem for my poor running or not, I'll take this little cap off here and find my top dead center, and then see how the timing looks. Maybe it's slipped or something. I don't know. I'll be back. Okay, I got the gear shift clutch, whichever one you call that, 10 millimeter. Loosen them up a couple of turns. Well, I guess I can do that too, and couple pulls here. 1, 2, 3, maybe a couple pulls there. I'm gonna pull it out pretty well equal. Let me do this. Half around, half around, half around, and half around, half around, half around, half around. Just work my way around it. I'm gonna get that loose. I'll get back. All right, got all of them loose, kind of equally. It comes up, and I've got 4 new springs, so I can discard the spring. I'll put that just like that. Put the old springs right there. Now, here's a basket and the washer that I've been looking at forever down in there. And then the clutches. Turn it over till they come out. There they are. It'll go in last, and then you've got 5 of these steel pieces and 6. Let me take it. 6 of the fiber pieces. I've got my new fiber disc sitting in oil. I'm gonna let them soak all night. Okay, I put my clutch pack together. When I took it apart, it had 7 friction discs and 6 steel flat discs. All of the parts I saw, in fact the one that I ordered had from Partzilla, it had 6 friction and 5. So I made a few calls. I talked to the serviceman at the Honda service manager, and he said, well, the factory original Honda that he looked up shows 7 and 6. So I used one of the old ones, friction, and one of the old steel, which I measured everything. They calipered the same. I couldn't even see that they were worse. So that's how I went back together with it. I'm going to tighten this nut up here and see. I've got the 4-wheeler in gear, and see if the clutch. I think it should be engaged right now. When I tighten up that nut, I'm going to see. Okay, I have put the nut on there. I haven't locked it in yet because I don't know if it's going to work. But the 4-wheeler is in gear, and I can turn this. Well, a few minutes ago it did, and it would slip. I think it should be engaged. Damn, I just turned it. It was slipping. Anyway, I'm going to put the spring pack on it and see what that does. Yeah, it's definitely engaged. Okay, I'm going to put the springs on it. Okay, I got that front case all buttoned up and a new output shaft seal put in it. I torqued them to 108 foot-pounds, which is what it called for. And on that clutch, I left 7 friction, 6 steel plates in it. That's what came out of it. The only difference I did, instead of having that front friction plate offset from all the other 6, I put it in line with those 6, and we're going to see how that happens, how that works. I know I called a factory, or not a factory, but a service department there in town, and they said it called for 7 friction and 6 steel. So I got 7 in it. That's what came out of it. I put 7 back in it, and I just got it torqued down. So I'm fixing to move this front differential forward enough to get that drive shaft on there so I can continue on. Okay, I just filled up the radiator, not quite full, but got the oil in it. I'm going to give it a crank and see if I fixed it or if at least I didn't ruin it. There you go. Let me give it a little gas. Okay. It should still run, but I didn't fix it, but I didn't ruin it. I'm still looking, but that's all of putting it back together. Thanks for watching. Dang it.